Leveling up in Shadow of War can be a slow process if you don't use the proper and optimized methods. So in this guide, I hope to provide some useful information on leveling, as well as 4 different methods to help you level up as fast as possible. I of course recommend you equip a white gem onto your armor and cloak slots to gain XP bonuses. Be sure to subscribe, like the video, and comment on any questions or methods for leveling up that I did not mention in this video. Gaining experience and leveling up has many benefits. First, you gain a skill point that helps you unlock new skills or skill upgrades that you can use in builds, allowing you to increase your gear level, making you stronger. This also allows you to take on higher level captains without being downed or defeated instantly, as well as recruiting them into your army and unlocking siege upgrades along with war chief and assault leader slots for your fortress sieges. All of these things are granted to you by increasing your level. I'm now going to show you 4 different methods to gain XP and level up fast. All of these are listed from least effective to the most effective, and will reward you with gear, gems, and Mirians as a bonus. Let's start with the first method, hunting captains. This method is fairly simple. You hunt every orc on the army screen, and whether you recruit them or slay them, you will gain a small amount of XP. While this is the slowest method, it's probably the best one to get you good followers, gear, Mirian, and gems, since you'll be going around a region rather than traveling to a specific part of it to engage in activities. This is also great for clearing out your board, which will bring in new orc followers or nemesis into the region. Of course, I mentioned Mirian, and you get this by defeating the orcs. You defeat orcs, which give you gear, which in turn can be destroyed or upgraded depending on where you want. If you destroy them, you get Mirian. If you upgrade them, you get a good piece of gear. This is probably the best way, or one of the best ways, to farm specific orcs or legendary captains. This is great for late game legendary gear grinding. Now for the second method, Nemesis missions. These are generated throughout the region in batches of 1 to 4 missions that have a set time limit before they are automatically resolved. But they can allow up to 3 different captains to participate in each one of them. This means you will potentially gain captain XP by 3, whether you recruit or kill them, as well as gain the XP for participating and completing the mission. Completing the mission rewards you a significant amount of XP that scales to your level and provides anywhere from 10% to 20% progress to your XP bar. While it doesn't provide as much loot, it's still a good way to get reliable gear and Mirian while making progress to level up. This of course provides opportunities to gain gems or Mirian depending on the secondary objective. This can be anything from performing 3 executions to terrifying enemies. This is also a great way to see how different orcs stack up against other orcs or other captains. Since if you want an orc for the fight pits, you will want a good orc that can deal with captains effectively. Some orcs could be great against players, which would be very useful for online conquest or defending your fortresses, but other orcs are more suited towards orc combat, which means without any player interference or interaction. You will also gain quite a bit of gear and probably wipe your army screen by doing this method. It's just a little bit slower than just hunting every captain, but it does give you significant amounts of XP. Towards the end of the game, with higher level orcs, you could get up to 8,000 or 5,000, anywhere from that range, for one mission. Of course, the higher the level of the orcs involved, the more amount of XP that you will gain. And it should be noted, you need to participate in some way. If you simply appear and start the mission without doing anything, kind of just spectating, you will not be given any XP from the mission. So it's important that you at least damage an orc or interact with the mission in some way. The third method is story missions. This is the best method available for anyone without access to online features such as vendettas, online fortress sieges, or fight pits. Story missions by far provide the most XP per mission, during offline play of course. The earliest missions can give you upwards of 5,000 XP during the first 5 to 10 levels of your character, scaling all the way up to 50,000 or more in the late game. These also allow you to earn Midian, gems, and higher quality gear while progressing quest lines, which when completed will provide skill upgrades or legendary gear. Story missions are by far the best out of the previous methods for leveling up quickly while progressing throughout the game and unlocking new skills or skill upgrades. They are also great for getting certain legendary gear early, or just unique legendary gear. As one of the quest lines, you will defeat a legendary orc that will give you a piece of gear, and I don't know if you guys have noticed thus far, but when you kill a captain and obtain their gear, it will always be ID'd as being dropped by that captain. Some gear may even have quotes from captains. This only works for rare, epic, or legendary gear, but it's still good nonetheless. Another thing to note is that story missions are scripted and they do scale to your current level. And if you're above a certain level, the enemies will not scale to your level, only during replays. Should be noted, replaying story missions or quests will not give you XP, as you can see from the footage here. They're a great way to gain XP early on, and since your story will make you conquer every fortress in Mordor, those will give you a ton of XP as well. Something that should be noted is the higher level the Overlord that inhibits that fortress before you determines the amount of XP that you will gain for successfully taking it over or defending it. Finally, there is the fourth method of leveling up super fast, giving you up to 100,000 XP in less than 20 minutes, regardless of your current level or how strong your army is, or how far you've progressed through the main quest line. This is, of course, online conquest, where you raid other players' fortresses. This allows you to instantly enter a siege and complete it to be rewarded with tons of XP. And if you're playing in ranked mode, you will also gain Mirian, gems, gear, and upgrade chests, as well as keep any orcs that you've recruited during the siege. Of course, if you want to level up as fast as possible, you should probably stick to friendly conquests. Simply look at a random name up and find one with a rating equal to yours or a higher rating if you're confident that you will not be defeated. And like I said before, the stronger the Overlord, the more XP you will be given for successfully capturing the fortress. I recommend friendly sieges since ranked play risks the orcs that you take into the siege. Even if you only get XP, it's still the easiest and best way to level up early game. And you won't need it for long, since once you get to about level 60, you can simply finish the game and all its quests to get to level 80. It should also be noted that ranked play involves increasing odds or difficulty. This means that the more successful you are, the stronger your opponent's fortresses will be. And unfortunately, it may even get to the point where you will find a fortress filled with cheat orcs. Cheat orcs are simply orcs created by using cheat engine or tampering with the game files in order to get a clear advantage above every other orc. They have no weaknesses, or can have very few weaknesses, or manipulated to have a lot of immunities, enrages, traits, and have no hints or any way to daze, stun, terrify, or even damage them. Some orcs you will only be able to kill with your own orcs, as they will not be able to be damaged by you. If you manage to recruit these orcs, I of course would suggest you do not put them in your fortresses in any capacity, not even guarding war chiefs, since it just ruins the fun for other players. I managed to get one cheat orc during a vendetta, which I keep in my garrison as a little reminder, or if I just simply want to have a good bodyguard to take with me around and easily kill some orcs. These 4 methods should help you level up the fastest in Shadow War, while still being entertaining and reducing the grind. If you ever start to get bored of one, I recommend you alternate between them so that you don't feel burned out too quick. And of course, doing this is not even necessary unless you want to become higher level quickly, or as early as possible, as the game will ensure that by the end of the story you will at least be level 65, even if you've only completed story missions. Of course, this varies if you've completed all story missions or just the required ones to finish the game. And that about wraps up this guide to leveling and gaining XP in Shadow War. If there's anything I missed, be sure to comment down below, and as always, I encourage you to like and subscribe if you'd like to see similar content in the future. I also recommend you check out my other guides on Shadow War, including the Beginner Guide or the Nemesis System Guide. Thank you for watching, and have a good one.